Hi guys, I'm here today to talk to you about fast fashion. Now, next week, if you didn't know, is Fashion Revolution Week, and a massive campaign that has been going on for a little while now is called #WhoMadeMyClothes. Now, as a student fashion designer, I've learned a lot about fast fashion and the impacts that it has on our planet. And I think a lot of people don't realise, or they just don't care. But I'm here today to give you a few facts that I know that really impact me and is why I want to become a sustainable fashion designer. That is my passion and what I love, and I want to encourage others to shop more sustainably. Obviously, I understand that for some people they can't afford it, as sustainable fashion does tend to be more expensive, but there are options like charity shops and secondhand, which are much cheaper alternatives than buying brand new from sustainable brands. So one of my first facts is that 700,000 microfibers are released into the ocean from one singular wash cycle. Now that's a huge amount, and obviously we all know how bad microplastics are. We keep on seeing it, and the situation is getting worse and worse and worse. And something as simple as washing your clothes, most people don't realise how big an impact that has, because clothing like polyester has plastic in it. It is plastic, and when you wash it, it releases into the water system, which then goes back into the ocean because it can't be filtered out through the filtration systems that we have. So then it ends up in our fish, then it ends up in our food, and it ends up in our bodies, and it just ends up in the environment, and it's just obviously awful. You can get bags that catch the microfibers. They're just like a bag, like a netting bag that you can put your clothes in and zip it up and wash it in, which obviously massively reduces that number being released in an average wash cycle. 70% to 80% of garment workers are women, and in 2017 1 in 3 women reported being sexually abused in the workplace. And this is a fact that I heard when I was researching into my dissertation, and I heard it a little while ago, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. As obviously as a woman myself in the fashion industry, I would never want that to happen to me or any of my friends. And to know that brands such as Primark, Zara, Topshop, whatever, are funding these places, not checking the rules and regulations, and things like this happen to women. And I think it's disgusting, because obviously with the majority of garment workers being women, it's women that are being exploited. Obviously there are still a percentage of men, but garment workers throughout the industry are just exploited. They have awful conditions to work in and awful hours. Like, they work constantly to meet these fast fashion trends. Like, trends shouldn't be this quick. Like, we used to have, like 2 sort of fashion shows. Like, if you think of the high-end brands, they have 2 fashion shows a year, and 2 like core collections. Whereas fast fashion, you have like, I can't remember the fact now, but it's about like 150 different fashion trends in a year, which is absolutely ridiculous. No one needs that many clothes. We don't need that many trends. And with these constant changing trends, people are constantly buying into them. They're only wearing the clothes a few times and then chucking them away. Clothes aren't disposable. They were never made to be disposable. They're supposed to last a long time. You're supposed to care for them. They're supposed to be good quality. So these clothing's being produced really rapidly. It's exploiting women. It's exploiting people in rubbish conditions. I mean, they get paid a ridiculous low amount. It's way below the living wage. People go hungry. Over COVID, so many workers didn't get paid because orders were put in, they made these orders, and then when COVID hit, obviously sales and everything went a bit crazy, and everything just stopped. So these fast fashion brands like Primark, that I've seen people queuing around the corner for, which I just don't understand why, they didn't pay these workers, they didn't pay these women. And obviously, like, women tend to be the people that are shopping and like queuing up for these places. Obviously there are men that do as well, but it's like, this is where like women empowerment comes in, a bit of feminism. I don't know if everyone realises this, but for me, I would much rather buy something that's a bit more expensive and save up for it and have less items, but I know that it's been made sustainably, or I'll buy second hand, so I know that it's been loved before and I'm giving it a second chance. As you can tell, it's something that I care very passionately about, and I think obviously I understand that people can't afford expensive clothes. Like, that's totally normal. I'm a student, I can't afford like loads of expensive clothes. I choose not to buy too many, or I'll buy second hand. But I understand that people need to shop at Primark. I'm not saying don't shop there if you genuinely can't afford anywhere else, but I don't understand why people are queuing to go there, because it's not that great. The clothing you get there you can wear once or twice and then chuck it away. The people that make those clothes are exploited and paid practically nothing for hours worth of work. So yeah, next time you're buying something, maybe think about what you're buying and who made it, basically. That's why the hashtag who made my clothes is the main part of Fashion Revolution Week, because it makes you think like, oh, like, where did this come from? And my t-shirt says there's no planet B, which is true, because also fast fashion is really bad for our planet. It's so toxic, like I said, with the microplastics. It's the same with chemical dyes. There have been rivers that have been completely polluted. They, like, nothing can live in them. They smell, they even bubble because there's like so many chemical reactions going on in it. It's just awful, basically. And again, it's people in these countries, usually like garment workers, you know, countries like India, Africa, all that, they're having to live with this, and we're the ones buying it and we don't have to live with it, which I think is just really unfair. And we need to start taking a bit of action, because if we say to a company, look, we know what you're doing and we don't like it, we're going to stop buying from you till you change your ways, they will have to change their ways, because otherwise they're not going to make a profit. And at the end of the day, these fashion brands go for what consumers want. That's why they have these constant changing trends and stuff, because we've been taught to just consume everything, and that everything is, we deserve everything, and that we can just chuck it away when we need to, when it's not the case. We need to start valuing things. Another fact, which a lot of people have probably heard of, is that a t-shirt takes 2,700 litres of water to make. Now, that is enough drinking water for one person for 900 days. And that is just one plain t-shirt, okay? So I think that's another big thing to think about. You know, imagine how many people that like don't have access to clean water, you know, they could have this water, but they don't. It's been gone into a t-shirt. And it would be such a shame if that t-shirt was just worn once or twice and then chucked away. So yeah, I hope that I've given you something a little bit to think about, and next week I'll make a video on a few of my top tips of how to be a bit more sustainable, especially fashion wise, as that is sort of my speciality. And if you have any questions, please message me. My messages are always open, and I love to help people, especially when it comes to being more sustainable. I know I'm not perfect myself, but at least if we try, we can make a difference. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this interesting. Bye.